Hi, beautiful people. Welcome to PlannedPath podcast, your choice of for book reviews and crucial conversations. It's so good to have you on the show. My name is Oluwatosin Abiodun-Lisk, aka Tosin, aka Auntie Tisa. And yesterday, 31st of October, was my birthday. Was my 31st birthday, 31 on 31 on the 31st, and I'm so grateful to God. This is 32. This is year 32, and we are doing 22 life lessons by Pastor Laurie Idahosa. So yeah, I'm so grateful to God for this new year and what it brings, for all the years, and for this beautiful, fantastic 32nd year. And He's gonna give everything He's supposed to give by the grace of God, and God is gonna lead me, in His word, according to His leading, everything, and just give grace to respond to every opportunity God brings my way. So yes, cheers to a beautiful year. This is PlannedPath podcast. We started PlannedPath podcast in 2021, and we reviewed a lot of books so far, like books that resonate really, and our audience has grown. In fact, I think currently our largest audience is in Nigeria, followed by the US, Germany, from all over the world. Listen to our podcast. Amazing. When you look at the stats, it's so humbling, really. We started PlannedPath podcast because, first of all, reading is reading and lifelong learning that really like a core value to me. They are core values to me because I have to read. If not, my brain cells will die. If not, I won't know new things. Reading is so transformational because you can literally change the trajectory of someone's life by reading. Even if you don't have all the money to travel right now, right? You can just read. Reading will transport you to worlds unknown, and that's what my life has been. Just enjoying going to words unknown. Just reading through the mind of the author, and just enriching my life experiences by just reading. There's something reading does to you in the midst of everyday life, everyday stress. You just transport you to another world that just makes you forget your sorrow. I think I prefer this kind of escape rather than using drugs and using substance and all of that. Reading is a very good escape. It's calming, it's relaxing, it helps your vocabulary, you understand. And before you even get to a place you've read and all of that. So reading is good, like it just reduces the number of mistakes that you make. And so also at PlannedPath Educational Consult, our sponsor on the show, reading is lifelong learning is core to us. Is instrumental in achieving the goals of SDG 4 quality education, because when we reading will never stop in the classroom. It will never stop when we graduate from university. Reading is a lifelong learning thing that we should all reading is a lifelong learning thing that we should all explore. And I understand how it can be, adulting, you're busy with your kids, with yourself, career, just life is happening. If you don't have time to read, instead of you start postponing indiscriminately or indefinitely to say, oh, I will start reading next year, I will have time next month, and then before you know it, 3 years have gone, you've not read any book. One thing you should be doing really is that you should start listening to our podcast. It's a very good place to start, and it's a good habit. As you're cooking, washing, driving, just doing everyday things, being on the queue, just listen to our podcast. And like I tell people, there's time for everything that is important to you. Sometimes I can be so busy, those days happen and all of that. But in between, you have to just find a way to come back to that schedule. And you don't have to start with finishing one book in 2 days. Just start from reading a page, you understand? Sometimes let me start from reading a page or two. They are really just to lure you into the book, because eventually you just spend so much time reading. It's very good. It's a good recreational activity. And it also gives you time away from the screen. A lot of times when I read, if I'm reading on my gadget, I just turn it off, go on airplane mode so that I can just focus for that time, Reading is very essential. So last week we actually started. I really encourage you to read please. Make sure you read. If you need book recommendations, let us know in the comments. I will be glad to offer you some form of guidance. And at PlannedPath Educational Consult, we sell books. If you're having a community outreach, a school outreach, and instead of just sharing rice and chicken to the kids or rice and meat, just share books to them. You have someone that their birthday is coming, you don't know what to buy for them. Just come with us. We'll recommend a book or two that you can buy. All those outreaches, call us, we source books for you. And we have them in quantities. Books to meet the specific needs of the community you're going to reach out to. So reading is something that you should pay attention to. And we sell books at PlannedPath. You want your children to do explorative reading. Just read. Just let them read plenty things. We are there for you at PlannedPath. Just bring it on. We would help you with your book needs. So yes, thank you. Remember to always, we are online everywhere. PlannedPath Educational Consult. Just even if you type us online, you see us there. So that's a good place to start from. A very, very good place to start from. So today, last week we actually started from, we started doing book review of Laurie's life, 22 life lessons. You understand, the life lessons of Pastor Laurie Idahosa. When she turned 40, she presented us with 22 life lessons that happened in 40 years, of our life. So we spoke about a few points. I want you to go back to that episode. If you haven't listened to that episode, please. And remember to share with your friends. You can't be enjoying this kind of wonderful podcast alone. You have to share it out with people. Yes, so don't be stingy, share it out. Remember that my name is Oluwatosin Abiodun-Lisk, Tosin at Tisa, and this show is brought to you by PlannedPath Podcast. Let's go on a quick commercial break. We'll come back to dive into this conversation, the part 2 of Laurie's life lessons. Thank you so much. Today is a calm day. Today is calm day because this episode is going to be some bad booze episode. So let's start it in a very calm way unto the glory of the Lord. Amen. Amen. So I'm going to start with the first. I want us to just do 3 points from this book today, and I encourage you to get a copy of this book for yourself. Lesson 21: lying ain't worth it. Lying ain't worth it. Lying is not worth it. So every one of us have told it lies, whether it's a big lie or a little lie. They both have the same consequence: discovery. You see, the truth always eventually comes out. When it does, you are left looking like a fool and left with the shame of creating distrust in your most treasured relationships. If you want a relationship to last, be honest, even if it hurts you in the short term. For example, it's so irresponsible to lie to someone you are dating. Lying about your age, your income, or your education is always a bad move. If you have hoped for the relationship to make progress or to last, you need to be honest. Lying is caused by shame. When we feel ashamed of the truth, for whatever reasons, we find ourselves being dishonest, exaggerating details, and sometimes being ridiculously braggadocious. Sadly, we have no idea that the person we are being dishonest with can see right through us. There is never a need to pretend. If you don't have a car, for example, and you borrow your parents' car for a date, be honest and tell her who it belongs to. The hardest of all lies we need to overcome is when we lie to ourselves. We could easily make progress, but we tend to lie to ourselves. We tell ourselves that we are okay and that we don't need help, when in actuality, we need assistance. We cannot do all that we want to do in life alone. We need people to assist. My charge to you is that you will be honest from today onward, even about the small things. Scriptures, Colossians 3 verses 9 to 10. Do not lie to one another, saying that you have put off the old self with its practices and have put on the new self, which is being renewed in knowledge after the image of its creator. Proverbs 12:19. Truthful lips endure forever, but a lying tongue is but for a moment. Truthful lips endure forever, but a lying tongue is for a moment. Sometimes we believe that we are being sharp, we are being wise by, like Pastor Laurie said, exaggerating details, being unnecessarily braggadocious, and just omitting details. If you want your relationship, and you just end up being, you just end up looking like a fool. Like Pastor Laurie said, if you lie one lie, that's the thing about lie. You know what? The thing about lie is that you have to keep remembering the last detail you said, and then you have to keep covering. It's not like me, I don't even know how to lie, because I will not forget myself and say the truth. You have to lie, and once you lie once, you have to keep lying to cover up with the previous lies you have told. So my admonition to you today really is that if you are with somebody that you can't be yourself with, you may need to just move away from them. From your friends that cannot know that you don't have a car. Because they'll move away from you now have to be lying to say, oh, my car this, my that. When in all honesty, you actually don't even have a car. That's too much stress to put on yourself, man. That's like too much stress. It is not even worth it in any way. So I just beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of the Lord, everybody, PlannedPath listening to this podcast, please don't lie to yourself. You know what it, and to other people. Sometimes we tell ourselves that, recently I had to examine myself. I said, although we've been putting out so much content at PlannedPath, the videos that I used to do to sit down, those sitting down videos, I realized that there was a point I wasn't doing these videos. Like, although I was doing some other sorts of content and everything, maybe I would have lied to myself that I was exploring. But for the goals I have, for the things I want to do, it's important that I be consistent in those kind of specific content, those educational insight kind of content that I was doing. And I had to, just repent, forgive myself. Some things were happening privately that also didn't allow me to be at my best. I was also coughing for the longest time, so it was not really easy to shoot a straight video. I couldn't talk for long and everything without all the old interruptions. At least with podcast you can forgive me, but short videos like that, when it's a 1 minute video and you have coughed for like 30 seconds, you grab. So I have those things, and my reasons are really valid. But at the same time, the truth is, I needed to, as much as I started feeling better and rested, took some time off, I needed to come back to it. It's being honest with yourself, just being honest to say, what, I just need some help. I need to do a business course. Oh yeah, I know this education well, but I want to also improve myself in certain areas. So don't lie to yourself. See, when you know that a guy is not good for you, there's no point lying. Just bounce off. Because this is one of the reasons I don't like. I can't even think of lying to myself, because every other person we go to their houses, we move on with their stuff, and you grab. But you are left there with your own attitude, your character. As my grandmother will say, and then it's what you do for yourself that will really be remaining. So you please don't lie to yourself. I beg you. I beg you with everything I can use to beg you. Don't lie to yourself. It's not worth it. It's not worth the stress at all. It's not just worth it at all. Why lie to yourself? There's no point. Don't lie to yourself, and don't lie to other people. So that you'll not be looking even finer than your helper. Don't lie to yourself. Lying is not worth it. And then the relationships, the friendships that you've had, you just use one lie to spoil something that has been brewing for years. If you lie to me, like somebody told one fat lie some weeks ago. I don't want to even talk about it here. Somebody told me a big fat lie, and this somebody that on the norms we talk a lot. It's not that kind of thing. We have to talk because we do some work together and all of that. But immediately that person lied to me, and like what Pastor Laurie said, that people can see right through you. Usually you feel that what you're saying is making sense, but the other person can just like look at the inconsistencies in what you're saying and say, nah, you're lying to me, this doesn't make sense. So the person can see right through you. There's no point lying. Like the worst that will happen, like I always tell you, like my dad always says too, like you can't beat me. You can't beat me. That's the end. That's the end. I did it. I'm sorry. You may just look short term. You may be uncomfortable. I don't know. People get married and they can't tell their partners of their debts, like the debts they had that they incurred, and all of that. So they just lie and now try to start paying off the loan. There's no point. I mean, if someone should do something like that to me, I'll feel so sad. Like this person took me for granted. And that's the thing, especially when you're dealing with someone that is intelligent. When the person can see through it, the person is like, so you are not only lying to me, you are taking me for a fool and thinking that I'm supposed to believe this nonsense you are saying. And it's really painful, actually. Don't lie to people. It's really disrespectful. I think it's really disrespectful to lie to people, and then it's disrespectful to yourself when you lie to yourself. It doesn't make any sense. Like, it's just very pointless. There's no point doing it. So please don't lie to yourself. Let me go on a short break and come back to talk about. I told you I want to talk about daily lessons today. So let's go on a quick commercial break first. We'll be back. Hi guys, how are you today? So I actually just realized, I'm checking my schedule now. I just realized that this podcast is going to be released on before my birthday. So ignore the beginning that was like, hi guys, my birthday was. This podcast is going to be released on 25th of October. So not my birthday yet, man. My birthday is still in front. So thank you for that. Lesson 16 says, always act in faith. Always act in faith. Things are going to come your way that are difficult or that seem impossible. Life does not give anyone a free pass. You are going to go through things that seem like there's no way in the world you can make it happen. This is where faith comes in. Every human being has a part on the inside of them that is resolute, unmovable, and unshakable. A part that believes that whatever you have set your mind to achieve is possible. You are going to have to take giant leaps of faith sometimes to accomplish things that you wouldn't normally be able to accomplish on your own. You have to believe in yourself. You have to believe in the power that is on the inside of you that can create and that can make things happen. Faith needs to be your standard approach to problems. For me, my greatest leap of faith was in trying to have children. I had to go through many IVF treatments to conceive a child because they told me it was impossible. It was one of the greatest tests of my faith to go through those treatments, and yet I didn't get a baby for it. Despite this, my faith was anchored in the fact that God was going to give me my own children. In response to immovable faith, God gave us 3 children without any intervention of doctors. Throughout the course of history, great things have always happened when people place their faith in God and step out into the unknown. Everyone from Abraham to Jesus was able to achieve things beyond human comprehension by placing their faith in God and His promises. When you are faced with your next big challenge, I urge you to respond to it with faith instead of doubt. Train your mind to believe in the power of God and your mouth to speak words of life. Nobody ever lost by acting in faith. Romans 4:20-21. He staggered not at the promise of God through unbelief, but was strong in faith, giving glory to God, and being fully persuaded that He that has promised was able to also perform. When Jesus said to this, that is Romans 4:20-21. Then this is Mark 11:22-23 NLT. Then Jesus said to the disciples, have faith in God. I tell you the truth that you can say to this mountain, may you be lifted up and thrown in the sea, and it will happen. But you must really believe it will happen and have no doubt in your heart. Solid acts in faith. I had to bring this lesson out because, especially for younger people, that sometimes it just feels like life is supposed to be soft, everything is soft. I understand that dimension, but life is really about balance. Some things will come really hard at you that you are like, there's some things that happened to me that in the moment it was just like, cuckoo kill me, like, hey, but this one, how am I going to, like, what am I even going to do? Like, have you been broke with no hope of money coming, and you're like, nobody's owing you, and you are freaking broke, like, are you going to do that? But have faith in God. Like, those tough times really pass. Just that I pray that we learn from those experiences. There are always tough times. Life is not a bed of roses, really. There are always tough times. Our own is just to ensure that we pay attention to those tough times, and we just make the best use of the situation. We just make use of the best use of the situation. That's just our own part of the equation. Let's make the best use of the equation of whatever is happening part time. Life can throw you down. Sometimes people feel that when they set a goal or they have prayed, nothing should happen. I say hello, like Bible says that even through the fire will be with you. So that means that there are times you'll be in fire, but it's definitely that once you call God, God's going to help you. Like, it may not necessarily even remove you from the fire. It may just help you go through that test. I mean, Pastor Laurie had to go through a phase of her life where she was trying to have children, and it really did tested her faith. Things that really happened have tested my faith as well. And I know that even in this, like, as life just goes on, anything that is trying to test my faith, I know that with God, I'm going to just overcome. So this is me just telling you today that have faith in God, really. Have faith in God. Whenever that next test, that challenge comes and it's just really literally driving you nuts, just remember to have faith in God. He's the only one that makes sense, trust me. Only God makes sense in this life. Have faith in God and you will see that God will come through for you in every way. Have faith. Like I always tell people, if you don't trust God, who you want to trust? Do you want to trust your neighbor? Do you want to trust your uncle? That your uncle that you gave CV to, and the person did not even look at your face for 20 years. Is that the person you want to put your faith in? I bet no. So please have faith in God. Have faith in God. Have faith in God. Like there are some things that there are really some things that there are some things that you look at it and you're like, there are things you look at it and you say, how am I going to even do this? Like, how am I going to even just go through this? But as you know, the Lord will help you. Just keep having faith in God and moving in faith. Sometimes you don't have to know, there's a scripture that I've been saying to people around me, and I probably need to note this down. I need to note this out and pay attention to it some more. So when people, some men came to Jesus, they wanted to get healed, and they were healed already as they met Jesus. Because Jesus always gives you something when you encounter him. There's always a touch you understand from Jesus. But Bible says that Jesus said, go and show yourself to the high priest. And as they went, they got whole. There's that thing of, if you wait till, if I waited, you don't know how I started this podcast. I've always wanted to do a podcast. In fact, I even have a recorder. I didn't just know how to start. I asked a couple of people how to get started. I analyze. How do I get views? I just told myself, just start. One day, something happened in the education scene. I was just so irritated that day in my room. I just carried my recorder. I just started ranting. Teacher not a brute. If I remember vividly, that was our first episode, and that was how we started the podcast like that. And here we are. Our graphics have gotten better. There was a time I was not recording, we didn't even have graphics to go with the podcast. We're sure doing it like that, and we're figuring it out. Maybe if I do some things, make my journey shorter, you understand? Yes, but the truth is that just get started, move with faith, move. Just, this is what you're supposed to do. Your gut feeling is telling you, like you've prayed about it, just move. There's no point. Like, I realized that people that even know a lot, right, they just tend to just overanalyze. You see people online that they're not even as intelligent as you are, but do you know what differentiates them? They move in faith. They just get started. I know there's this girl online, right, that she just comes and says rubbish. Anytime you are coming across of this video, I agree with you. That's wrong. Like, if you are the one, you'll be editing your script like that. But this girl just got started. And sometimes our progress, don't let me say our progress, but the way she has built our community just keeps blowing my mind every day, because it just keeps increasing. So that's my admonition for you, really. Move in faith. Yes, I know it may be scary, but just move in faith. There's no point waiting. Move in faith. Thank you so much. Yeah, so let's go to the last lesson I would like to talk about today. So this lesson has a picture of Pastor Laurie with Dodo plantain, and it's so goofy. So, lesson 22, learn homemaking now. Homemaking includes financial management, meal planning, cooking, sewing, and basic clothes repair, and so many other domestic skills. So when people say homemaking, usually they say things like not only cook, financial management of the house, writing budget, understand? So meal planning, cooking, so a lot of things have to do with homemaking. Like when we were in secondary school, I liked homemaking more than foods and nutrition, because I felt home management rather, because I thought that home management has a lot of other things, and foods and nutrition is just all about food. Like home management, you learn cleaning, learn different things. If I were to go back to secondary school, I may take that subject. So anyway, and maybe I should look for a course to tell. It's not like I don't know how to cook or wash or anything. I just like the concept. Maybe I should take a course on that. So let me read it again. Homemaking includes lesson 22. Learn homemaking now. Homemaking includes financial management, meal planning, cooking, sewing, and basic clothing repair, and so many other domestic skills. Learn homemaking while you're single, and don't stop learning for the rest of your life. You see, don't stop learning. I believe firmly that homemaking is not gender specific. The male and the female should both be proficient in cooking, cleaning, organizing, disciplining, and raising children, family budgeting, and so on. Learn as much as you can and put it into practice before you are married. Learning as much as you can and putting it into practice before you are married will make you a much more better spouse and parent. Whether you're male or female, don't wait till you're married before you learn how to prepare meals. Your results may not reach condom blue proportions for the first time you try, but keep in mind that it only takes continuity to get better. So don't give up. Learn and practice as often as you can. There are resources all around you to learn from, including the internet. And honestly, you'll be surprised how many people will be enthusiastic about teaching you how to make their best dish. Taking care of and organizing your home/personal environment is the first step in having an organized life. The more organized you are, the more you'll be able to do. I especially encourage you to start maintaining your personal environment and property with excellence. Keep your room organized and clean. Maintain cleanliness in your clothes and in your home. The habit you start today will be carried into your future. Today's habits are what you teach your children. Scriptures, Proverbs 12 verse 11. Those who work their land will have abundant food, and those who chase fantasies have no sense. 2 Timothy 2:15. Study to show whoever is lacking is study to show thyself approved a workman that doesn't need to be ashamed, Proverbs 18 verse 9. Whoever is lacking his work is a brother to him who destroys. Very important. Please learn homemaking. Homemaking is not gender specific. Sometimes, like I went to someone's house, I think earlier in the year, maybe February or March or something. And when I saw this person, I was like, why in the world would you keep your properties like this? Like, why does your room look like a war zone? I don't understand. Like, I was telling my husband something earlier, like maybe 2 days ago. I said, anytime I've seen somebody in their privacy, and this person is dirty, right? It just changes my worldview about that person, because there's no way you tell me you are excellent, you're organized, you are good in business, but you can't keep your personal space clean, organized. You can't keep your property with excellence. Your room is smelling. I mean, my husband described one very nasty scene that someone told him about how someone was really, a girl in the hostel was really dirty. And for me, I'm like, please keep your things with excellence. Like, keep your things well. Like, I don't understand. Like, these days, I was talking to somebody, like maybe last month, September. I was talking to somebody, and the person was like, he doesn't just understand. Ebenezer, I think, or Lateral, I think is the one. So I was saying, the person was like, that he doesn't understand how people say because they are they are creatives, they start piercing their noses, their ears to look cool. I'm like, you can be very creative and be organized. For someone like me, if my space is not organized, I can't walk. Like my husband is, I literally have to organize everywhere. I don't even mind that when I finish organizing, if I'm tired, I'll go and sleep. When I wake up, I'll continue the work. Like your physical environment, the way we say our mental health is as important, is an important aspect of our life. That's the way our physical environment, the neatness in the environment is very, very important. Like you can't, how can you wake up and you're walking in the middle of mess? Like there was this tech bro like this that year. That's my friend and I went to his house, and the room was like the bedsheet legit was smelling. That the babe was trying to help him clean the house door. I was like, doesn't he have hand? Why is he not cleaning his hand? Don't be so busy. Like, so I tell people, so when people say that they're depressed, they're not happy with their jobs, I say some of your problems are just things you do around you, your habits. Imagine your house is dirty, there's no space, like it's like lizard is even living. Although I'm exaggerating, but that's what it feels to me. Lizard is living in your room with you, and you say you are making money, but you are not happy. How will you be happy? Everywhere is dirty, everywhere is just, Yoruba people will say, oh, Ilieda be Ilieda. Don't do that to yourself. Respect yourself. Do you respect yourself? Do you love yourself? I believe that if you love yourself, if you respect yourself, you keep your things neat. Learn homemaking. See, right? My mom used to say something to us when we were growing up, that the reason some people have married like wrongly in their lives is not the devil, though. It's because when they were at home, when their mothers were teaching them how to cook, how to wash, they refused to listen. Now, can you imagine that somebody is making a marital decision based off, that babe, she's sabi cook? Is that not stupid? Like, seriously, like, is that not a someone's decision? That you are making a marital decision because the babe feel cool. You forget all the bad attitudes of the girl. Anyways, when you shall get into the marriage, the food will be satisfying you. So everybody should learn homemaking. Like, there are some guys that some ladies have no business in their houses, in their lives. But she's a big cook, she's a big cook. They will just make stupid mistakes. So please learn homemaking. And for all these feminist ladies, all these work ladies, I feel that they can outsource everything. You can't outsource everything. Yes, you can outsource. I'll encourage people to outsource. Don't let you stress to kill yourself. But even if you're outsourcing, it will be better if you know how to do it yourself too. Know how to do it for you. It's even good for your body. Don't say you're busy, you're working. You don't have. Sometimes sweep yourself, sometimes mop, sometimes do your things by yourself. It's good for you. It's good for your body mobility, your back will stretch and your body will stretch as well. So just to let you know, this is what Pastor Laurie is saying. we said last week that being organized is very important for your well-being. It's very good for you. So it will help your productivity and how far you can go in life. And knowing basic home skills, no woman can use it to do shakara, my dear. So yes, and no man can use it to do shakara too. Homemaking is much more than cooking, and everybody should learn it, irrespective of their gender. Thank you so much for listening to this episode. This episode is 22 Life Lessons by Pastor Laurie Idahosa. This is a part of the book, and I'm not going to be reviewing more. You have to go get a copy of the book for yourself. My name is Oluwatosin Abiodun-Lisk, aka Tosin, aka Atiti Sam. I'm your host on the show. This is PlannedPath podcast. It's brought to you by PlannedPath Consult. I try to offer for everything in education. Honestly, book sales, teacher trainings, teacher recruitment, mental health trainings, instructional design, school growth consulting, everything in education. Just call us, to speak at your events on topical issues in education. We dey here for you, my guys. We dey here for you. Thank you so much. This is the last episode for October, so I'm gonna see you next month. Bye, guys. Take care. Love you.